Hello everybody! Right, if you remember 2 months ago I showed you my mother's nails. This was them. They were a mess. They were thin, damaged, bitten, picked. This is her nails now. I know! And that is not extension, that is capped. Her natural nails capped. These particular nails are almost a month old now. So, yes. We are well overdue. So we're going to have a rebalance, infill, redesign, everything basically. So what I've done is taken my Efile and filed them right back to the nail bed colour that was on originally, which was from Tammy Taylor. It's really, really light colour. But as you can see, this is her natural nails. She's never had them this long. It's crazy. We've just taken really good care of them. She's religiously used cuticle oil every day and stopped picking and biting, and it's just amazing. I'm going to go in with a thin layer of Glitterbels glass slippers on each nail to protect them because I'm putting down quite an intense colour. Obviously I've done all my cuticle work, I've dehydrated, I've primed, all that jazz. I'm just really laying down a thin layer to protect the nail from staining so that when we come in to redesign again, we've got something to file back to. I'm then going to go in with Glam and Glits Cruel Intentions. This is bright, super neon-y. It's not a red, it's not an orange, it's not a coral, it's like a combination of all three. Now, it does marble with clear, so like you can put the bead down and it's almost like there's marbling through it, but just play with the bead and it will come out and spread beautifully on the nail. Highly pigmented, really nice to work with. It's just that initial bit of marbling that's, instead of a lot of the powders that marble with white coming through them, this just marbles with clear. You might see it now and again, so I tend to push the bead around quite a lot. But you can go in super wet, super thin, and you can get really good coverage. So you can keep that nail nice and neat. A lot of you, if you don't know the story behind my mum is registered blind. She used to pick her nails off with anxiety, her actual natural nail, and pick the fingers until they were bleeding and red raw and horrible. And she's taken such good care of them. She can't really see much at all. She can see the brightness of the colour, but what she sees is not what we see. It's really hard. So I've told her that she had to have glitter on them, which she can't see. I just told her that it pains my heart not to use glitter. And she was like, oh, stick it on there, love. Make them as bright as you want. So I was like, yes, Mum. I've done nails about how I adapt them. I've done a video about how I adapt the nails for my mum as well. So when she was first getting used to having them longer, I did make them thicker than I normally would, just so they could withstand a little bit more of a battering, and it worked perfectly, and now she can have them sort of normal again. It was just getting her used to the different feeling of having the nails, and she really couldn't stand them long at all. So I'm going in here with 2 different glitters from the Indian Summer collection from the Glitter Fairy. They're both marigold. It's the multi-cut, which I have a little bit left from my recent accident, and the dot mix, both in marigold from the Indian Summer collection, my favourite collection at the moment. So I'm going the same. I've already done the clear on these nails. I just filmed it on the first nail. Pushing that nice and neat across the cuticle, tapping it down the sides, and then pulling it down. It almost looks like an ombre there, doesn't it? Because of how light that nail bed colour is. I think next time we'll probably soak off and have a new set, actually, thinking about it, because it's been a couple of months. Sorry, that's my phone. So I'm just going around the cuticle now to make sure there's no staining. Now what I like about this powder is when you go in, so like here I'm going in with my second bead, I can pat it out with a wet brush pull it down, and then if you turn your brush around and lay it really flat, you see how flat that is? That's gently feathering it up. You don't want to go in with your nail at a 90-degree angle or even a 45-degree angle because you're going to dig into it and drag it. But if you lay your you lay your brush nice and flat, you can just gently feather it, and it works so beautifully. Then I just pat the glitter in. So I go in first with the multi-cut. And then I'll pop some dots. I'm sorry. I'm going to make you yawn again, aren't I? I keep doing voiceovers late at night. It's 11 o'clock. It's too late for me. Oh, I need to say this. Hi, Kerry. You need to check out Kerry Rees, nail artist. You need to check out her page. She's amazing. She said she likes my voice, so I'm just going to play up for attention because I had a little fangirl moment, to be fair. So I'm just tapping the glitter. I put too much on, so I'm just gently wiping that away. There's really no hard and fast rule apart from if you're going near the cuticle, keep it as flat as you can. And that would be my advice. I'm doing the same on each nail. I've kept this whole video in real time, and instead of just doing 1 or 2 nails and cutting it out and then saying, and that's how I did the whole set, I thought I'll have them in, I'll do one hand, because if you're just starting out, it's useful to see something repeated over and over. So go with my second bead, turn that brush flat, gently brush it in, no pressure at all, and then just feather it down. And if you prefer to work with a wetter system, then Glam and Glits is perfect for that. I absolutely love it. Unfortunately, all the nails are the same on this set, and that's something that my mum's quite adamant about, because if she tries to get the gist of what it looks like with the little bit of vision that she has, her brain can kind of draw the picture for her because she wasn't born blind. So if you tell her what it looks like and you describe it and she brings the nails right up to her face, she can use her magnifying equipment and kind of her brain will help her. It almost draws the picture for her, so it's not necessarily her eyes doing the work. But if I then chuck in one nail that's completely different, it really confuses her and it just frustrates her. She likes them all to be the same. We're just doing exactly the same on this nail. And then drawing the bead back up, gently turn the brush around, really gently. You really don't have to do much with this powder. It does what you want it to do really easily. If I feel that I haven't got enough moisture on the nail surface, then I will go and just pick up a really wet bead of glass slippers. And I really liked using the multi-cut and the dots because it just gave that variation. So you see me playing with that bead, that one marbled quite a bit, so I was just playing with it there. It's not so bad because it is a clear marble, not a white marble, but it's still, I prefer to get this colour as solid as possible. But I mean, look at the coverage with that small bead. It's amazing, really. And I do apologise for the state of my nails. They will be coming off this week. I'm doing a nice, fresh, glamorous set because I'm off to London with some of my music bits and bobs that I do. There we go. Beautiful colour. So bright. And I think this glitter, I'm in love with this particular colour, the marigold. Oh, there's just something about it that makes my soul so happy. And just adding those dots just really gives it that variation in texture almost. It's just so beautiful. Once they're all dry, I then go in with glass slippers from Glitterbels and cap them. You'll see me kind of touch my brush across the nail surface quite a lot as well, just to make sure it's damp so that it adheres nicely. I'm using quite a wet bead to get in around those glitters. Not so wet that it's difficult to control though, but I find the Glitterbels system really easy to work with, easy to file, and really nice. So take off any excess. Is it just me, or is my brush starting to look like it needs replacing? It's not too old, but just adding another bead there at the cuticle for my apex and just gently dragging the top of that bead down. And then we do the same on all the other fingers, keeping good control of the bead so we're not having to chase it everywhere, tucking it in around the sides and the cuticle. Don't be afraid to move your client's hands either, or their fingers, in order to, you know, be in the good position for you to get a good brush control. Because I think a lot of the time, especially when I first started, I was afraid to move their hand or to have a firm grip of their hand. So I would move my arms and my shoulders into awkward positions. And apart from not being healthy for your neck and back and arms, it actually doesn't help you anyway. It makes your job harder. So don't be afraid to move their fingers. They've got an armrest. They're nice and comfortable. And it does make the job a lot easier. My dog is licking his leg. Milo, stop it. Good boy. Oh dear. The look I'm getting right now. Be a good boy. Again, just adding a little bead there because there was some glitters that I felt weren't completely covered. So you'll know when your glitter is covered because it will go completely matte. Oh bless. When I'd capped it, because obviously it dulls the glitter, after I'd filed, but before I top coated, my mum went to have a look and she said, "You've taken it all off? What have you done that for?" She's so sweet. So we're just patting that bead gently into place. And then we'll just remove any excess. It was really annoying me, that bit. I was like, "Ugh, get off." Again, trying to keep it true to the shape. And onto the tiny little pinky nail. Oh, the brush I'm using is my Glitter Fairy size 10 round brush. I do think I might need to think about getting another brush though. I do use this a lot for practicing, so it's got a lot of use. But I've noticed it's just starting to change. Maybe I just need to spend a bit more time. It's nice and clean all the time, so I'm not having any problems with it. Just putting an extra bead on the tip and blending that back. And then just pat it into place. And take off any excess. There we go. I just saw a tiny bit of glitter there that was like still sparkling a bit, so I had to slap a bit of clear acrylic on there. And this is after filing. I filed off camera because the angle the camera is, I can't actually get my arm in to file. It's really clumsy. They're so sparkly and beautiful. Really, really lovely. And then at the end, I'll show you a brief video and photograph of the finished set, you know, after they've come out the lamp and had cuticle oil and everything. And that's the final nail done. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video and that it was helpful. I'll have another video up in the next few days, so keep your eyes peeled. And if there's anything you'd like to see, any requests, then you can either contact me via social media or comment on here. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye!